Hi everyone, welcome to our series on using the iPad for the classroom. In this first section, we'll talk about how to set up the iPad based on the configuration you have of equipment in your classroom. Future sessions, we'll talk about some faculty-oriented apps. For example, you can use the iPad in conjunction with a projector to function like a smart board. We'll talk about how to use the iPad as sort of your mobile computer to where you can have everything stored onto your iPad everywhere you go. But before we start, make sure the classroom is configured to accommodate Apple TV. Think of this, that the Apple TV unit is basically functioning as though it were a laptop computer. So you'll see the same connections applied to the way you treat your laptop as well as the selection made on the control panel. Some classrooms, currently we have 4, will have a glass case covering a unit that's the Apple TV unit to where the setup is almost complete. If you don't have this Apple TV unit, you can borrow one, probably from your department chair. Larry will explain how the connections are made. So let's turn over to Larry and talk about exactly what we have to do with the iPad, with the Apple TV units, and with the control panel. So Larry, here we are in a room. We have our iPad. We have a room that's configured for Apple TV. Step us through what we need to do on the console as well as with the Apple TV pigtails.
Hi. What we need to do is there's an Apple TV box with the pigtail secured in the room. So then you would take this pigtail, which is the same pigtail you would use if you're using your laptop, and you would just plug this pigtail into the adapter of the Apple TV and then plug in the audio into the back of the adapter. Then what you would do is on the console box, you would just push laptop as if you're using your laptop right there, and then the screen would be the Apple TV showing.
Okay, so at this point we now need to configure the iPad to make sure that it's mirrored off the projector. Okay, so here we are with our iPad. Show us what we need to do, Larry, right on the panel itself.
Now on your iPad you just scroll up to get the menu bar, and down here you have AirPlay. You would just tap AirPlay, and now this will search all of the Apple TVs that are in the vicinity. We're in classroom 3033, so that's why it says DeSantis 3033 would be the Apple TV that we currently are syncing to. So you would just click that as if you're connecting to Wi-Fi.
Now we have to mirror that too, right?
And now the mirror turns on. And then what you would do is you look up on the screen, and now your iPad is up on the screen.
Perfect. So we have on the screen exactly what's displayed on my iPad. Now I understand there's something we have to do to turn it off. We have to go back to the original
when you're
iPad?
When you're done teaching with your iPad and you want to leave, what you would do is just scroll up again. You would tap AirPlay, and where it was mirroring, you would just turn that off, and now as you see, it went back to Apple TV.
So there you have it. In summary, make sure the room is configured to accommodate Apple TV or get the unit on loan from your department chair. Make sure you have a clicker. Secondly, make sure that the connections are made, including all the power connections and the sound connections. Then you want to configure on your iPad by sweeping up the bottom screen, the selection of that particular classroom, making sure that you select the mirror option to where it turns green, and then everything you have on the iPad will be reflected on your screen. In our next episode, find out how John Riggs uses the iPad as though it were a mobile computer.